Yes indeed, good afternoon, morning ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. This is the Apex Online Racing iRacing season number 5 for the GTE League, round number 7 here at the Daytona Road Course. My name is King-Kodiak and I'll be one of your commentators throughout this evening's race. Joining me in the commentary box, always happy to say, my faithful companion for the iRacing Leagues, it is StevieSQ.
Hello everybody, welcome along. I hope we're in for another instalment of this hugely competitive series. Super brilliant track, Daytona. The drivers, a lot of them would have competed in the iRacing 24 Hours of Daytona, coincide with the real life event, just barely a month ago. So no excuses, a lot of them know where they're going. I can't wait.
Indeed, we are in the midst of the qualifying session. They have got 10 minutes 40 remaining to get a time on the board. We saw Pro Championship leader Irunom at the top of the board by quite a hefty margin it was at the end, but slipstream is absolutely key here at Daytona. But before we get into that, let's have a quick look at our championship standings, looking at the AM category first. Jake Towns narrowly leading the way over Breithma, who is joint with Kamke and Domino there on 106. Then it is Cooper, Van Eyck, Brenneman, Bedford, Smith, Washington, Potter, Sada Christensen, Bell and Parkinson. In our Pro-Ams, it is not quite as close, but still not a huge margin for Sarah Dove at the top of the table on 128. Then it is Godefroy, Martinson, Hoppe, Sluman, Krutz, Gaillard, De Bruycek, Emre, Sueman, Foku, Gibbons, Blackwood and Westgarth to get off the bottom of the table. Pro though, bit of a different story. A huge lead for Irunom. He's been absolutely blinding in his campaign on the pro side. Then it is Klima, Shepard, Sasolski, Gaidemer, Dreschler, Holstein, who isn't with us. Our multiple champion is not present tonight. Thielen, Lundgren, Volstrom, Marinsky, Alanda, Reed, Hitchcock and Williamson to round out the top 50.
Yeah, we've also got in our team standings, it's Team Bushring Racing at the top, with a bit of a sizable lead now over Comrade Gaming and V3 Racing in third. As you were saying earlier, though, this qualifying session is all about getting a good lap in, and more about getting a slipstream, getting a buddy, and going around together if you can, because the benefit of as the Team AOR yellow cars nearly collide into each other at turn 1, you want to be close, but you don't want to be that close. No benefit. The benefit of drafting here is pretty large, and you will probably see in the race as well that running in a pack of cars is probably better than trying to get free air, because you lose out so much just on that back straight towards the bus stop otherwise, and towards the line.
Yep, absolutely key to remain. Doesn't matter who you remain in the slipstream of, and generally people will behave themselves. They won't try and break the toe behind, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. Wow, Ronnie Gibbons in the Pro-Am category jumped up to 4th with a 1:41.778 in the Ferrari. Wow, he comes out to a very busy pit lane exit. There's one of the AOR yellows that he's just gone past. Oh, there's the other one that's flown off the road. That was Evan ahead of Fizzy there. Gaidemer's just jumped up into 2nd position with a 41. Oh no, he wasn't in 2nd previously, but almost half a second is Irunom's advantage up front. Currently, down to Solski in 3rd place, with Klima currently in 4th. Holding out for the pros right at top. The current leader of the AM is Chris Bell in 12th position overall. Not currently moving. So it's going to be quite... who's going to be able to latch on to who? Will we see... I mean, we're seeing the AOR yellows, so Kenny Martinson and Evan Imre try and slipstream, although only one of them seems to be near. Where's Evan gone? Oh, he's not too far behind. You see now Evans backed off there, so Fizzy's obviously going to play the lead car for this particular run. I wouldn't be surprised if they swapped over. They've got to be careful over those curbs as well. We were kind of talking off there about the potential incident limit as they hop over the bus stop. They've got to be a bit careful. Of course, they want to straight line it as much as possible, but they have got to be careful doing so. That's ever looming incident limit. 20 incidents.
Yep, 20 for an hour and 20 minutes.
Which has caught people out. We've seen disqualifications happen. We've got 34 cars on the grid for us this evening, so should be a good race.
Absolutely. With I'm just looking a bit further down the grid. Mike Shepard's down in 30th at the minute. I noticed he was one of the very first out in qualifying, and he went straight out and then came straight back in. So I wonder if he's fighting a technical issue at the minute.
Oh, no.
But he's just over 2 seconds off the pace, which is not where you'd expect somebody who is second in the championship.
No, indeed. Is he on a time lap at the moment? We'll see if he comes across the line. Does he improve? Up to the line any second. And answer is yes. He jumps up to 8th position. But even still, there's time on the board for Mike to find. He's going to have to find a buddy to draft behind, I think. Oh, no, that's the ball. No. That ended rather suddenly for Mike.
That didn't go well then.
No, that wasn't what he had in mind. The gap in front is... Oh, go on.
There was some very close between Dan Sasulski and Sarah Dove through turns 2 there. I don't know whether Sarah was letting Dan through or what, but it was a bit of an aggressive chop.
Oh dear. So you see Lundgren's gone high up on the bank, and then he's going to let Dan through. Is he going to let the car that's chasing it is Godefroy? So Godefroy doesn't choose to follow as well. So here we have the kind of slipstream tactics going on. So now Lundgren's going to get the benefit of it down that back straight. Irinom already in the pole spot by a couple of tenths, as we can see. Joris Thielen has jumped up to 3rd with a 141.479.
I'm expecting Enoch to jump up as well. Yeah, up into 2nd place. He had a tremendous tow coming out of the bus stop from both Michael Dreschler and Nick Domino ahead of him. So he's had a brilliant run to the line, gave him a lot of speed, and he's now he's exactly half the 10th off pole position.
Here comes Lundgren. It's not going to be an improvement this time, but he's had a big old toe there. Ooh, it's going to get a little clumsy coming into one. Oh, wow. He carried a lot of speed through turns 1 and 2. We'll stay on board, actually, with Jochen Lundgren as we take a tour of the Daytona Road Course. Then coming through 3, they're perfectly allowed to wander out to that rumble strip, as both of the Bushwick racing cars have just demonstrated. Now, catch the apex for 4 over to the left-hand side as Eru kills every cone on the left, but we know how quickly they get replaced. Bit of a slide for Joachim there, but nothing too bad. Still chasing Irinom then down to turn 6. And look how the car is bouncing around. It just does not want to behave. Took a long time to get settled. He had a great drive away from turn 6, then through the long turn 7. Jochen is still close enough to get a benefit of slipstream. As we come onto the back straight, then heading towards the bus stop area, turns 8 through to 11. And now on the brakes, just got to get these apexes right. Don't cut them too much. Nicely done from Joachim there.
Whilst you're on the run to the banking, would you like to just press the gearbox camera? Alexander Godefroy has chased these two the entire lap.
Well, Godefroy is currently in 10th, so we'll see where he jumps up to. And why not? And that's exactly there he goes.
Now. Look, this is the benefit of it.
And where do they jump up to? Let's keep an eye on the time.
Godefroy up to 6th place, Joachim up to 8.
Yeah, and that is exactly it. That is exactly what we've been talking about. You catch onto the back of someone and the gains are huge. There's the AOR yellow pair already ahead of us. Evan behind Fizzy at the moment. So they are doing the same thing, and you'll just see if you can get close to someone, the gains are huge. The amount of speed that Godefroy gained just as a catapult past. And I mean, that would have put him on the outside for turn 1, so it would have been a difficult move to do, but expect a lot of that in tonight's race.
Absolutely, and if you can go on board with Evan Imre and go on the roll bar, initially. And now when they're on the... Oh, he's made a mess of it.
Yeah.
He keeps going for it. If he goes on the banking, if you want an idea of how steep it is, click on the gyro cam.
Oh, the gyro one, yeah. There you go.
That's how steep the banking is.
Yeah.
It is incredible. But these cars are absolutely planted with the amount of downforce here.
Canute gets out of the way, lets Evan through, and then Canute is just going to slot behind Evan to try and then get the slipstream back again.
Canute's given up. He's
That's dramatic for Evan. That's one way to kill your car.
What's he doing? What? Where is he?
He just didn't brake basically for turn one.
He's given up. He'll be. I imagine that's fury and anger at himself because he made a bit of a mess of that qualifying lap. So with just less than a minute to go, they can start the lap. Once they've started it, they can complete it. But if you cross the line after that, the timer runs out, that is your qualifying over. And they are running out of time for someone to knock Aero Nom off the top spot. The only other issue with this slipstreaming is, of course, if you get one lap where you get a tremendous tow, quite hard to then replicate it and go again and try and find more time.
Indeed, Ronnie Gibbons has started the lap with not much time left on the board to finish it, and that time it can be a little bit stringent, so he's going to have to work hard to finish that one as the checker flag is out now. So how long is the server going to give them? 2.5 minutes. That should be long enough for anybody on a lap to finish it, unless they have gone horribly wrong. Who's that that's chasing Ronnie down the road? It is Nick Domino. That'll be 14, the decent effort. So Nick then becomes our AM lead qualifier. A bit of a puff of brake smoke coming through turn 5. As the Porsche is looking to hang on to the back of the Ferrari as they come through 6. And you can see from the outside, we watched on board with Jochen Lundgren just how the car bounces around as they come off of turn 6 onto the banking. And there you saw it from the outside shot. As we see Gibbons then. How far back is... Oh, Domino's backed off, unfortunately. So he either made a mess of turn 6, we didn't quite see from that camera angle, or he's chosen the back out of it. He will start no higher than the 14th position. What can Ronnie Gibbons do? Keeps it nice and steady through the bus stop area, now onto turn 12, the last bank turn. Will he improve? 1:41.778 his previous time. He's still got some way to go before he gets to the line, before we will see what he is able to clock up on the board. One more part of the banking to do, and it is... Wait for it. It was invalid, so no improvement for Ronnie Gibbons.
And I was on board, was all watching throughout that lap for Eno Marinsky. He had a little bit of a tow from Jake Towns ahead of him, but couldn't get anywhere near his previous best time. He currently is sat on a 41.2. His last lap was a 42.8.
Wow.
He may have just had a terrible lap, but...
And Bernie Cooper, our Red Bull livery Porsche, does not complete that lap. He brings his car in. Dressler, the only car still running. Everyone else has returned to the pits with no time on the board. Dressler won't finish this lap, not from there. That is a great livery, I think, on that car. I do like that one.
On Dressler?
On Dressler, yes.
Yeah, it's really nice. Very colourful. Nice.
Right, well, that is the lot. This is your confirmed grid then. So it is Nom, Marinsky, Gaidemet, Seedland, Klima, Godefroy, Sasulski, Lundgren, Dressler, Gibbons, Sheppers, Gaillard, Martinson, Dove, Domino, Foku, Imre, Bell, Hoppe, Krutz, Suominen, Reithmuller, Ike, Zelenika. I don't know who that is in 25th because the nameplate is blank. I think it's JJ Parkinson. If I remember. Then it is Town, Sluman, Smith, Brenneman, Kamke, Washington, Hitchcock, Park. Oh no, there is Parkinson, so it wasn't him in the gap. Gordon Anderson. Thank you. And then Merlin Cooper at the tail of the field.
This is going to be interesting.
Oh, it's dark.
Yeah, the in sim time, they qualified. The practice took place at 4 p.m. Qualifying took place at 4:30. Race start is at 6. So we may depending on how quick the sun sets, we may get lights on and track lights on. Just something extra for the drivers to deal with. Track temp is 26 degrees, so it's pretty chilly compared to a couple of weeks ago when it was
Interesting.
yeah, very, very toasty, 30 something. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of bunching up. Hopefully we'll have a nice clean start.
Indeed, just waiting for the field to grid up. And we will get the race underway. Rolling start, as you can see, behind the pace car. And we will get what is going to be around about 48 laps of this circuit. Now we are underway. The pace car leads the field away. Oh, there's another gap forming behind Gadamer there. Let's get straight to the starting up by the bus stop. Just lead them through 12 and then down to the line where our poleman, once again, Irinom, will floor it to signify the beginning of the race. Well, he's getting some heat into those brakes, but then it's pretty dark and pretty cold, so he's going to have to work hard to do exactly that. But of course, he's going to be the first man at the scene with a big old field of 33 cars behind him, chasing him to turn one. If someone makes a mistake, that could be a little bit chaotic.
Absolutely, they all need to be very careful going down this turn one. It's a tricky place, tricky corner at the best of times. You don't want to be having an accident. Just very quickly before we get underway, we can actually use the blimp cam this week because there's no trees in the way.
Yeah, I was just actually on the blimp cam. It looks really dark from up at the blimp. It doesn't look quite as bad actually trackside because you've got the track lighting going on. It's a lovely shadow effect coming off the cars. But yeah, that just kind of gives you an idea of why they've got their car lights on. Away we go then. Irinom has floored it to signify the beginning of the race. Marinsky is just about holding off Gadamer for second position. Here they come then for the first racing lap into turn one. Looks like everybody has done okay, or okay so far at least. Feeding through the field. Whoa, and that's the Porsche of Joris Thielen, I think, getting very, very twitchy coming through turn two, but manages to keep the car on the straight and narrow. Jumping slightly further back. Whoa, that's someone wide. Is it Gibbon? No, there's Gibbons coming up in the way. There was Dressler wandering a bit wide. So nicely capitalised there for car 228. Oh, that's Dressler not letting go of that position. Then side by side coming up towards turn 5. And no, Gibbons is going to hold on to that inside line. As is generally the way, it's difficult to know where the look. We go to the blimp cam again. Actually, they're right underneath the blimp, so that doesn't really help us at all. Looks like everybody's made it through okay. Any incidents further back?
No, not that I've seen it. It looks like it's been a perfectly clean start. It's exactly what they needed to do. Everybody's through, from what I can see.
Nicely done. Yep, does look like it's coming through the field. No major gaps going on. Looks like everyone's still running. Oh, Washington and Hitchcock. Oh, they've been involved in an incident of some description, or they've had a bad start. Either way, they're quite a way off the back of the field, so there's been an incident there. But let's jump back up to a look at that. 9. That's a second already that Irinom's got to himself. He's got no one to draft with, so that's just raw pace. Look at that.
The guys behind him really need to, if they want to win this, they've got to work together now. They cannot get embroiled in their own little fights over second and third and fourth and fifth and so on. If they want to beat Aero today, they've got to work together. We've got Ben Hitchcock in the pits already.
I was just seeing his name drop. So I'm trying. Every time I click on his name, he moves. When you sit, come here. No, he's gone.
Just wait till he gets to the bottom. It looks like Mike Shepherd has had an issue. Maybe. Let me just go back and check. Or has he just been passed? Oh no, he tried to go on the outside. Looks like a Michael Dressler, and has been punished by Joachim Lundgren. But I think Michael's got that position back.
He does. Yes, Shepherd's is. Well, actually, side by side is Lundgren and Shepherd's at the moment. The Ferrari is going to have the inside of the Ford, but the Ford's going to have the crucial apex of turn 5 and retain 10th position. So he hangs on to that for now. There is Kane Madsen already behind. Evan Imre. Oh, what's gone on with you? That's not a normal line to take. What happened to... Oh, he just dropped it. He just turned in too hard. The tyre's not ready for that. And over the field he goes.
Yeah, he's going to be ruined that. He needs to get, at least he's still within the group. He's still in the pack, so he's still got somebody to go with. He's just behind Jake Towns by the looks of it. But yeah, it's not what you want to be doing this early on.
No, indeed. And 1.3 seconds is now the lead already that Ian Arm's got for himself. And it looks like Gaydon has broken away a bit from Marinsky, who's got Claudio Klima for company. Here comes the Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing Ferrari. He's going to jump to the outside of the Porsche. Is he going to complete the move before they get to the braking zone of turn 1? That is the Porsche of Joris Tiemann right behind. And doesn't look like it. Porsche's going to have the inside line. Oh, he's brave on the brakes. And the Porsche's still there. And oh wow, that was very nicely done. Well defended then. It would be all too easy to kind of panic and think, oh no, I've lost the position, I must do something to get it back. But no, nice and cool-headed then by Marinsky to come back up into third position. But that's it's not helping them trying to close down Ina Marinsky.
The only other, there you have one crumb of comfort, which is that, and it all completely depends on the pace of Dominic Gaydemeier.
Yes.
Because last season when we raced here, and I took part in the race briefly, was you can save such a huge amount of fuel by drafting. And the less fuel you have to take, the shorter your pit stop. Mm-hmm. They don't need to beat Aero just on raw pace at the minute. It's a long race. If he's out front, he's got no one to fuel save behind. He's punching the hole in the air on his own, and he's going to do it all himself. Those behind him can actively save. It's going to be at the cost of whoever's in front though. And we may see later on Dominic not want to be out front, although I think Ina Marinsky, by the way, is just, yes, he's made a mistake of the bus stop. He's going to definitely have a slowdown penalty. Yeah, he's taken to the apron. Doesn't want to get involved causing anybody an issue. But he's going to have to lift off a little bit to negate that advantage from cutting the bus stop.
Yeah, so that puts Ina from third down to, or fourth rather, down to 8th now. He's going to slot in behind Ronnie Gibbons, and that's, oh, Klima and Thielen very close at a rather high amount of speed. Still going to be side by side coming through turn 1. And the Ferrari's going to hold on to that, but that's going to put Thielen very wide. Just manages to cut off Dan Sasolski as he returns to the racing line. What's happened to Gibbons?
Oh, Foku's dropping down. Foku's had a spin at turn 1. Oh, and there's some collision behind them. Oh dear, that's all kicked off behind there. It looks like nothing Kamke involved, Jamie Smith's involved. Oh, Anthony Washington nearly managed to get involved in that as well, but he just avoided it.
He just overcooked it, didn't he? He just overcooked coming into turn 1 and tries to get out of the way. Oh, there goes a Ford. Unfortunately, I've had a lag moment there, so I didn't see the rest of that unfold. Oh dear. That didn't go according to plan for him, but back up front, Ronnie Gibbons now up to 7th position. Right behind them, Godefroy and Sheppers side by side with Dressler in short order. So even though they really do need to work together trying to get the drafting done, the kind of racing instinct's taking over somewhat, isn't it?
It generally does. There will be those that raced previously that will know this tactic, and they will learn very quickly they can save fuel.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking back from Ronnie Gibbons, that's Sheppers, Godefroy and Dressler in the immediate pack right behind them. There's another four-way battle going on behind them, which is Lundgren, Martinson, Gaillard and Dove. And you can see look how the Ford of Mike Sheppers is gaining on Gibbons. He's not really going to have a realistic answer. He's going to stay to the bottom, and then you've got Dressler and Godefroy doing the same thing directly behind them, and Gibbons is going to want to, oh no, that's not how you do it, just essentially punch Mike Sheppers in the face. That's going to send the Ford very, very wide. He's going to lose position to Godefroy and Dressler. Oh dear, maybe a few words said about that, but look right behind, oh my goodness, coming side by side through turn 2.
Oh, Knut was all locked up there. He was so busy trying to outbreak. Who is that? Philippe Gaillard. He nearly blended straight into the side of. Oh! Dove and Gaillard have come together. How did that happen?
That was really odd because they were kind of mind their own business. I think Gaillard just didn't anticipate where Sarah Dove was and just kind of drove over her nose.
50-50 on that one, I'd say, just off quick looking at it. Very well avoided from Sarah not to roll back onto the track. Hopefully that will only be minimum damage for both of them, and they will be able to carry on. Sarah looks like she's carrying on back down in 27th, Gaillard in 24th.
Oh, disaster. Disaster then for our Pro-Am leader, isn't it, Sarah Dove?
Yeah, Pro-Am championship leader at the minute.
So that's going to hurt her defence somewhat.
Yeah, Ronnie Gibbons is the current lead Pro-Am driver, but he's not really in the championship fight, so she won't be bothered about that. She'll be more bothered about Alexander Godefroy just behind, currently running in 8th.
Here comes Marinsky, who's closing on Norris Thielen, but actually chooses to stay behind the Blithering Racing Porsche this time. Slightly further up, you can see Sasolski, Gadamer and Klima. Oh, no! That's not how, that's Klima that's gone very, very wide. At turn 1, going to have a Ford side by side with him. Can they navigate turn 2? Okay, still side by side. The Porsche's behind now, getting interested in the battle. No, that's going to be the undercut then for Sasolski. Can he get the move done? Still side by side. Here we go again. Left-hander of 4, and no, the Ferrari just manages to get back ahead. And that was obviously where we've just seen that incident with Sarah Dove and I forgot Gaillard.
Yeah. That was some really great racing from both of those. This track does lend itself to good racing in that infield section. It's quite easy to try and defend or overtake.
3.4 is even on to lead now up front. Gadamer, that we can just see at the top of the shot, is clear of the battle behind by just shy of 9/10. So he's not under immediate threat. Claudio Klima's got far more to do with Sasolski, Thielen and Marinsky in short order. And slightly further back there is Ronnie Gibbons, who's having a pretty stellar race, to be fair. Started in 10th, up 3, and is doing a good job keeping Dressler and Godefroy behind. Jake Towns is moving his way through the field. Oh, that was close between himself and Soren Kreutz. Between himself and Sebastian Riethmiller, beg your pardon. So, oh, look at that. The Nando's Ferrari is having a great run out of the bus stop then, but looks like he's going to run out of momentum on the... That's something else they've got to bear in mind. If they get a decent run, they have to be able to maintain the momentum through that, through the next few turns, which are then, of course, left-handers on that bank. Oh, God, that was close.
It's scary, isn't it, when they get so close together. Jake then trying to go around the outside. He's desperately trying to salvage his attempt at the outside with a wobble through turn 1. He's under massive pressure now from Soren Kreutz behind. Yep. But yeah, Jake, who's missed the last couple of races, he's been on holiday. He was leading the AM Championship. He's now in about 5th. So he's desperately still trying to hang on to that. He's trying to fight for everything he's got. He's currently 3rd in class. Yes, Chris Bell, Nick Domino, and then Jake Town.
Bell and Domino 14th, 15th, so they on a pretty good run as well. As clusters, as we tend to find it at Daytona, it doesn't really matter what's raced here, you tend to find just clumps of cars. So with the exception of Irunom, you've got Gadamer in the Conrad Gaming Ferrari, 8 and a bit tenths to Klima with Sasolski and Thielen and Marinsky. They've been involved in that battle for a while. And then it's now 2.5 between themselves and Gibbons, and look what Gibbons has chasing after him. That is Dressler and Godefroy. A little bit of a gap between themselves as Shepard's behind rounds out our top 10. But now is Dressler and Godefroy just staying behind Gibbons. If that is what they're doing, it's not paying off, because the gap between Gibbons and Marinsky is increasing lap on lap. Is Godefroy going to make a move? Here he goes. He's going to jump to the outside for the last part of the banking. This could get a little ugly coming into turn 1. He's backed out of that one and let Dressler come back up into... Oh, that's an unusual line from Dressler, going a little bit deep. That's going to put Godefroy side by side through turn 2. Oh, and Dressler just managing to shut the door on Godefroy to keep him in 9th position. Then it is Shepard, Lundgren and Martinson in the pack directly behind them, with 3.5 seconds back to Jeremy Hoppe, Chris Bell, Nick Domino. Then look at that pack behind. There it is again. There's Riethmiller and Towns with Kreutz, Suominen and Van Eyck in that particular battle. But that Wolfpack Landers Ferrari is looking to really get on with it. Jake Towns wants to get through the field. But he's got to clear that Porsche, and there's 2.5 seconds between him and the next car.
Yeah, he's really looking. He's going for it on the inside here. That's going to be optimistic. It didn't quite work. If nothing else, it would have distracted and put Sebastian Riesmuller off a little. Yeah, arguably Jake should have the quicker car here, just because the Ferrari is a little bit better on the straights and at top end compared to the Porsche. So he should have the base package should be better. But Sebastian is putting up all the defense he needs to. But it looks like Jake's going to get him here. It's going to be brave to go too wide into the bus stop. It's kind of common courtesy. You just have to be gentlemanly about it and accept you've lost the position.
With so much of the race left to go, there's no point fighting too hard too soon. I mean, that's going to put Riesmuller a little bit out of sorts. Here comes Kurtz to try and demote him another position. What's going on with Dressler?
He's side by side with Alexander Godefroy. He's just backed out of it again. Just a point as well on our leading pack. The gap has stabilised around 3.1 seconds. There's a group of cars, Klima, Dan Sasulski, Joris Thielen and Nino Marinsky, all back behind Dominic Gaidemeyer. Very close behind Dominic Gaidemeyer for reference as well. The gap to Aaron up front, just over 3 seconds. It's been that for a while now.
Oh, Gordon Anderson, what's happened to you? Porsche 988, so uncategorised. That's Marvin Sluman in the Ford already behind.
Oh, Gordon had a moment into turn one. He had it was very, very nicely recovered though, I'll give him that.
Wow, he almost like threw himself off into no man's land rather. He was going to jump, he wanted to do the oval only. That kind of line.
Yeah, that was great fun. Just to finish my point though, the gap between Aero and Dominic, about 3.8 seconds. I suspect Aero is fuel saving because his pace has dropped compared to his what he was doing on it initially. Last few laps have been 42.5, 42.4, 42.2, which is 7 tenths to a second off his best lap. There's no need for him to push super hard out front if they can't catch up.
No, absolutely. Sheppers, what's happened to you? Where's he gone? Krutz and Towns are side by side. I swear I just saw Shepherd's name. What's happened to... He's in the pits. That's what's happened to you. Oh, Godefroy and Gibbons. And Gibbons just about keeping Alexander Godefroy at bay. So that's the Ferrari trio that's been in that order for quite a number of laps now. And Gibbons is just about managing to keep Alexander Godefroy at bay, but that looks like it's a pretty tough battle that he's got for himself to keep those at bay. A bit of a gap then forming between Lundgren and Dressler between this pack and the next pair of chasing cars. They are at the top of the shot with Martinson in the yellow car. It's difficult to know where to look. There's going to be a lot of strategy going on now. That's Marinsky and Thielen possibly side by side coming towards turn 6. Oh, that's very wide for Joris Thielen. That's going to let Marinsky through. Unless Joris has had a hell of a drive going that wide through turn 6. No, the momentum certainly with Ian Marinsky.
Yeah, you're always going to be slower on that high line as well. It's just a simple fact that distance is further up there. Although Joris on the outside for the bus stop, this is going to be brave. Nope, he's abandoned it. He's abandoned it. He didn't want to go for it. This is going to be a slowdown for him though. He's going to have to lose a lot of time. Yep, you can see him on the brakes. Look at that. It would have been better for him, I think, to drop back initially and just fall in behind. But yeah, it's kept him in the race, but it's dropped him out of draft range now. That's going to be difficult for him to get back into it.
Oh, very much so. Jake Towns, what's happened to you? Nothing's happened to you.
He still can't get past Sebastian Riesmuller.
Yeah, he's just still behind Riesmuller, that's all there. Oh, Chris Bell and Jeremy Hoppe, that's the battle for... Well, that is our lead am, chasing our 4th placed Pro-Am. So Chris Bell having a pretty good run. Nick Domino's about 2 seconds behind. Krutz, what's up? Oh my god, that's a big gap. That's Suominen on the outside coming into turn 1. That's... It's here where that gets dangerous, coming through turn 2 with the track narrows. But they remain in their positions. No, Suominen is still wanting to hold on to that inside line, keeping the pressure on Soren Krutz. and Krutz manages to fend off Suominen for now. But,
yeah, we've also, if it's one of those things that you don't really notice until it's pointed at you, we also now have all the car lights on and all the track lights on.
Yes.
So it's getting dark enough that we are having to need the lights. Just over an hour of racing, just to report as well, both Evan Imre and Mike Sheppers have left the station. We will not be seeing them again.
Oh dear. I thought I saw Mike's name descend. What happened to Mike?
I don't know. He looked like he went through the chicane, the bus stop chicane, but then he missed the exit and pulled off to the side and stopped. So I don't know.
We lost Evan a while ago, by the look.
Yep. Jamie Smith has also just left, which means our last runner is Ben Hitchcock in 31st position.
I see. Nick Domino.
Oh, whoa, Gator Mayer and Klima? Where'd that come from?
Oh. That's just your typical slipstream effect, I would imagine. Get a bit of a replay on what happened here. Nope, they were already there when... oh, wow! That's Dasasowski in the Ford, who was very close to the tail of Gadamer, who then went to the outside, looked like he was going to make a move, but didn't then come off. So that they swapped around a little while ago. Claudio Kleeman up to second now. 4.4 is the lead for Erunam. What's happened to Jake Towns? Oh, that's getting very feisty between himself and Reith Muller. And there goes. That is Soren Krutz! Oh no, that's gone horribly wrong for Krutz. He needs to be very careful how he rejoins. There goes Dove, Sluman, Gaillard, Anderson, and now he's going to rejoin down in 22nd.
Oh, a very light tap between the two cars. It was Cruz trying to go around the outside of Jake Towns. It was bold. It was very ambitious. Didn't quite work out for him though.
Unfortunately not. Jumping back again, just looking at the gaps, looking at where the clumps of cars are. Where shall we look? Gadamer is biding his time coming through the bus stop. Didn't want to be too close. He wants a decent run here to get as much slipstream as he can off the back of Claudio Klima there up front. Is that Erunam we've just seen?
We've got Ben. He's just left Ben Hitchcock.
So that's the gap. That's what 4.3 seconds looks like in these cars. Is Gadamer now going to make a move on Claudio Klima for that second position? Here he comes. He's going to go to the outside line. No, he's backed out of that. No! That
was a moment there where I didn't think he had.
No, likewise. I was thinking that's getting ugly very quickly, but no, that's... Bell and Hoppe are having a scrap. Well, they've been having a scrap for a while. And Chris Bell is having a stormer of a race.
Yeah, he had a great race out last time out at Twin Ring Motegi as well. He's going to put a real amount of pressure on Jeremy Hoppe ahead of him now. And this must be frustrating for Chris Bell because he's leading AM class. He's not going to gain anything in that championship more by passing Jeremy Hoppe. It might just be holding up his progress a little bit, considering Nick Domino and Sebastian Riethmuller are not too far behind him. They're only about 3 seconds back to Domino.
Indeed. What was that? That was, I think... Oh, Thielen!
What's he done?
He's gone. Lost him. What happened to Joris Thielen? There was something happened at turn 6. That's where his car vanished. What's gone on here?
I suspect he's had either a technical issue or something weird happened, because he looked like he was okay and then it fired him into the wall.
Yeah, I mean he was ahead of Ronnie Gibbons, so that
he's immediately left the session.
So yeah, I think that some kind of technical difficulty has befallen Joris Thielen. A great shame, was in 6th position, but that has dropped him out of the race. Such is the nature of the beast, unfortunately.
Absolutely. Our Pro-Am battle then. Lead battle is hotting up nicely now. Gibbons and Godefroy battling it out. Oh, Godefroy is definitely saving fuel. He was cruising up onto the back of Gibbons with relative ease and then just lifted out of it. So I suspect Godefroy is looking for those longer games.
Oh, Jake Towns, Sebastian Riethmuller. Side by side coming into turn 1. Oh, there's a back marker there. Oh, that could have gotten nasty. I mean, well read by the back marker to stay well out of the way of that. And there's Suominen that's coming in as well. Who is that? That is Parkinson. That's reshaping car. And this must be slightly frustrating for Suominen as well. He wants to get past. Oh, Nick Domino, you're in the pits. No, nothing's happened to you particularly. You're in, or has it?
That's an early pit stop. That's all I'm thinking. It looks like it was scheduled though. So
okay.
He came in as normal. It's been interested in how he makes that one work.
Oh, don't get in the way, back marker. No, it's Gaydomir comes past, I assume, is that Hitchcock? Yes, it is. It's Ben Hitchcock once again staying out of the way. Nicely done. Sasolski is really keeping the pressure on Gaydomir as well, along with Godefroy and Gibbons slightly further back. Well, there's lots of people putting pressure on lots of drivers. In fairness, we won't really see this shakedown probably till post pit stop, I would have thought.
I suspect so as well. We've got Knut Martinsson looking to make a move on Joachim Lundgren. It took him a while after he had that very close call. He looks like he's going to get it done. He's got no one immediately behind, but he's on the outside. He's not. Yeah, I think Joachim's backed out of it.
Yeah.
They might want to work together here because it's just those two with a big gap ahead and a big gap behind. But
Knut Martinsson wants to chase off after Godefroy to actually get further. Jake Towns again. Oh, that's Suominen. Oh, that was close coming through turn one. Suominen wants to get past these two because they're not in the same category. Suominen is Pro-Am and the two cars either side of him are in the Am category. So it only really serves Suominen to get through to start chasing off after Jeremy Hopper, who's quite some distance down the road. So that's why I would think we're going to start seeing some interesting moves coming from Jukka for the moment.
Yeah, Suominen definitely wants to get a wriggle on with this. It's not benefiting Jake Towns to fight this too hard, but racer instinct and when the visor's down, it's anything can happen. Just looking at the chat, I suspect Domino's race has gone wrong.
Oh dear, yes.
Considering the amount of asterisks.
Yes.
So same as Mike Shepherd as well, so they're definitely both out.
Or they're very good at multitasking.
Yes. Jukka looking to put the pressure on Jake Towns now. This might be Jake conceding that position. But the thing is for Jukka is his damage is somewhat done already. He's got 8.5 seconds to get just onto the back of Chris Bell for 12th position.
Look who's joined the back of that pack as well.
Sarah Dove
in the 277 Ford. But she of course, we saw that incident she got caught up with early on, so she's still on that recovery drive. As Jake Towns is still side by side with Suominen. Now, I would imagine Jake Towns just wants a buffer between himself and Sebastian Riethmüller in the Porsche behind. That's all he's probably interested in. But Suominen is going to do what he can to hang on to that position. Oh, who's got the biggest stones on the brakes? Oh, there goes Suominen. Oh, I can't get his name. Come here. Oh, no. That must be hugely frustrating. Oh, and that was nearly an incident. I think that was Ben Hitchcock that just came through. So that's all the way down to 18th now for Suominen. Oh, what a shame. He just managed to clear the Nando's Ferrari, and then Jake Towns starts to come back at him, and that happened.
Yeah, that was not at all what Jukka wanted. It's not really. It was dangerous for Jake as well. Jukka's still going. He's out carrying the back out in 18th place, but that's not what he wanted at all. He ended up fighting in a position he did not. Oh, who's that? Gordon Anderson has had an issue.
Oh dear. What happened to you at turn 2 or turn 3?
Or turn 5.
Oh yeah, you panicked on the brakes then. He was. I think he missed his braking spot and panicked that he didn't want to wipe out the orange Ford ahead of him. That's what I suspect has gone on there.
Yeah. Jumping up front, a gap to the leader, 3.5 seconds. I think he is. Oh, it's just up to go. It's
4. Yeah, I know the numbers lie to you sometimes in that sense. But look at this three-way pack here. Klima leads Gaydomir, leads Sasolski. You just know. Oh, Dom, that was dicing with the grass there somewhat. The car got very twitchy. But you just got to think one mistake from any of these three, I mean, Sosowski probably less so, unless he barrels into the two ahead of him. Something's going to happen with these three, I think.
Yeah, it's one of those that could be poised to strike at any moment. Although, similar to what I was saying earlier, Gatormare was punching a hole out front for a long time, and may just be trying to reap the benefits of it now.
Yeah.
And they're not really losing that much to Aero out front, but I suspect he's also fuel saving. This track is exceptionally tactical. This is a lot more about strategy than it appears.
More strategic than raw pace.
Yes. You really want. This is one of the few times where you want to be with people. You want to be. You don't want clear air because it's just slower. And just having a look on the incident limit, by the way, Gatormare currently on 9. Aeronom, Klima both on 4. Alexander Godfrey, leader of the Zero crew.
Yeah.
So that's some extra bonus points for him if he can make it to the end of the race. Anthony Washington looks to have the most at the minute on the 11, although he's just coming out the pit lane. Yeah. So about halfway, most people are looking good.
The drivers may argue differently. That pack with Dressler, Godefroy and Gibbons is getting close. Oh, crikey. Godefroy went for a very early apex. I was thinking he was going to clout Gibbons for a moment, but that didn't quite happen. I love the fact that the Alexander Godefroy's helmet looks brighter than his car does. Certainly from the front. He's got a day-glow pink helmet going on there. What's going on? Sarah Dove. Oh, that's Sarah Dove and Jake Towns. The Ford trying to get past the pair of AM cars she was stuck behind previously. She's managed to do that, up into 13th now. Will she be able to get away from the fighting AM pair? That's for second and third in the AM category. Chris Bell is quite some way down the road indeed, good 10 seconds down the road, and still finds himself. Oh, is Ben Hitchcock, I think, just tapping the grass. But yeah, Chris Bell is still with Jeremy Hobbit. A little bit of a gap between them now, but he's been on that Porsche's tail all race long. Absolutely great effort from Chris Bell.
Absolutely. And
Sarah Dove! Sorry, Stevie.
No.
What's happened? What has happened? I saw a Ford facing the wrong way. So of course, we just mentioned the fact that she's gone past them. Oh!
Got wheel on the grass on the braking zone into turn 6 and clobbered.
Sebastian
Riefmuller, yeah. I'll see if he's got any damage. I don't think so from what I could initially see. He's got a little bit of bodywork damage on the right hand side.
Are we going to cause him much problem?
If it's Aero, yes. Here, yes. Although he has a little tiny bit on the front left as well, so that might be from an earlier excursion, so he may be okay just with what he's already been carrying.
Gatormare's just lost third. What's happened there? Well, it looks like you were fine. Coming into turn 2, you overcooked it. Oh, yep, there he goes. You saw the tail just get twitchy, and then that's an easy pass for Dan Sosowski in the Ford to come through and take that third position. And I would imagine that could be tyre temperature related, because it again just did not want to stick.
Track temp is still around 26 degrees, so it's not really changed that much. The track will rubber in as these guys are going around, which usually provides more grip rather than less. But yeah, I'm not sure on that one.
Gibbons and Godefroy and Dressler still very, very close in their three-way battle for 6th position, as they have been pretty much all race long. Inar Marinsky, who started on the front row, finds himself in 5th position, very much on his own. He's just over 3 seconds behind Gatormare and crew. Jump on my nose, and of course you can just see that three-way battle going on ahead of them.
Yeah, Marinsky had that issue at the bus stop. He cut it and had to lose a lot of time, and he's still paying for that, trying to make that back up. It's a shame for him, but he's still in a great position, still P5 overall. But this is certainly a track where you don't really want to be anywhere in. But at least he gets to avoid any carnage and things like that, and he can just run his own pace. And to his credit, he's not running too dissimilar lap times to those ahead of him.
Knut Martinsen is still with Jochen Lundgren. Knut being, he is third in class at the moment. Godefroy and Gibbons involved in their battle for the Pro-Am race lead.
Knut was one of those drivers last season that got that strategy super brilliantly done by saving enough fuel and finished within 10 seconds of the lead.
Nice.
Not going to happen today, I don't think, considering he's already 20 seconds off it. But you know, he knows how to do well. He knows how to do well here. And I think Godefroy was the same last season as well, which is why I think he's quite happy at the minute to just sit behind Gibbons and just save that sweet fuel.
Absolutely. And Dressler would no doubt be doing the same thing, but Dressler can't afford to lose too much time on his fellow pro drivers, which is the top 5, Norm Klingler, Sosowski, Gadebeer and Marinsky. He does find himself about 5 seconds or so behind them. But anything can happen come pit stop time. We haven't had too many in the pits, I don't think. I think a lot of the ones that have been in the pits have gone there to either retire or repair. So I don't think anybody else has actually been through plan yet. Looking at the numbers.
The lead one of the pitted was Stefan Kamke, but he had that issue at turn 1. He was involved in an incident at turn 1.
Oh, yes.
2 laps from the start. From what I can see, Herm van Eyck is our last runner at the minute. He's 29th. 3 laps down, but he's still out there.
That's Marvin Sluman getting out of the way of Suominen and Krutz. I think he's either let him go or he's made a mistake, because that's all for position. But it did look like he was rather happy to let them go. Maybe he had the approach. Oh, let's go slightly further back. And he's actually on the back of Soren. Oh, he's already at the back of the pack. So what he's done. What's confused my number slightly? He's probably overshot the braking into 1. No, he's just didn't actually attempt the move. But then realistically if a move's on or not. And there wasn't really anything going on there. There's Felipe Gaillard in the 267 Porsche right behind them. Again, 933. That is Ben Hitchcock staying out of the. Whoa, Gaillard getting a little twitchy there. That would have been a clinching moment for him.
I'm sure it would have. Top. I can't. I'm scared to look away from the gap positions 2 to 4. Even though realistically, I know nothing's going to happen. Not for a while.
Knut Martinsen making a move on Jochen Lundgren. That is for 9th in overall in the race. That doesn't make any difference in their respective championships, but Knut in the AOR yellow Ferrari, is he going to try and string it on the outside of 1? No, that one's done. Lundgren came through and defended that one. But he's putting the pressure on. And then Jeremy Hoppe not too far behind. So that's more of a concern to Knut at the moment.
Yeah. Hoppe there and Knut are in the same. I'll tell you an issue I think Jeremy Hoppe's got.
Oh no! Well, that's Soren Krutz just completely locked up coming into turn 1 as we were looking at Suominen. Apologies there, Stevie. What were you saying?
I think Mr. Hoppe has made a slight error with his setup.
What makes you think that?
He's on the limiter for a long time.
Oh dear.
On the banking. You can change the gear ratios in these cars. And you that was close by Godefroy, nearly into the back of Ronnie Gibbons. But Hoppe was on the limiter on his own for a very long time. That is going to make it difficult for him to overtake.
Oh, that's a very battered Ferrari. That's 336. That's Merlin Cooper.
I think Cooper was one of those that was involved.
That's 366, and I can't read numbers properly. I don't know who it is that Ronnie just passed to. Who was that? Oh, it was Anthony Washington. Right numbers, wrong order. Basically, 336, not 366. My apologies. As soon as I said Cooper, I was like, I'm sure he's in a Porsche, and my other sense was right. So, Knut Martinsen still staying right with Lundgren. So, I wonder whether it was a case of Lundgren was maybe a little earlier on the brakes than Knut was, so he kind of made Knut go to a slightly wider line. Maybe he wasn't intending to make the move. Well, only they know that, I suppose.
I think that's very, very true. I'm just trying to compare. Yeah. So Hoppe is topping out at 275 kilometers an hour. Knut at the minute is doing 208.
Oh dear.
Just before he broke into turn 1. That's going to be difficult for Hoppe.
It's almost like he's lost a gear.
Yeah. It's just that very top end that is struggling with. Although Knut is very close has been for a while on the back of Lundgren.
Yeah, but you kind of need the top end here.
You do. It would be like going to Le Mans without top end speed.
Yeah.
It's dangerous to do. Like he's already in the where he is now. He's already on the limit.
Oh my goodness.
He's not gaining enough. He's clearly gained on them, but this is where he's going to be. Oh, that could be. Oh, that's wide. That might be a slowdown for him, actually.
He's still got his foot down, by the sound of it.
No, he's just lifting off. He just lifted off there. He's got to lift off for that one.
Dressler's getting close to Godefroy. It looked like he was going to make a move on the inside there, but again seeing Godefroy throw the nose of the Ferrari in the tail, only just managed to grip there. Oh, Hoppe, what's happened to you? Nothing's happened to you. Had an invalid lap last time. Exactly what we were talking about.
I suspect, by the way, by the end of this race, with 40 minutes to go, we're at the halfway point now. It's going to be very dark.
It is going to be very dark, and Jeremy Hoppe is going to have a very burnt engine by the sound of that.
Yeah, it's something he's going to have to be careful of. He's going to be doing a lot of damage. We got an update as well on Sarah Dove. She's caught back up to the Jake Towns and Sebastian Riethmuller battle, which she was ahead of briefly, and then she stopped.
She does have a bit of damage to the front of the Ford.
Yeah, I think she clobbered the wall when she. Oh no, that would have been when she.
Her diehard.
And she had the incident with Riethmuller as well. When she spun, she clipped the back of it.
Oh yes, yeah. There's probably more likely that, isn't it?
So that's going to be hurting top end speed.
And right behind them is Suominen, who's just gone past again Marvin Sluman, and Soren Kretzer's in hot pursuit. So that conga line behind Jake Towns is getting pretty long.
Yeah, and the gap between him and Chris Bell is only extending. I'm sure to Jake's dismay. Chris Bell's last lap was 43.2, Jake Towns 44.1, so 9/10 of a second. And Chris does not have any slipstream now either. That's just him doing his own pace. Hoppe has managed to pull up. Well, he's pulled away, but he's not putting huge amounts of pressure on Knut at the minute.
Yeah, indeed. There's about 1.7, 1.8 between Martinsen and Hoppe. And who is that is directly ahead of this battle? Oh, wrong way. It is Anthony Washington. So he'll be blue flagged by this pair coming through. And Riethmuller and Sarah Dove on the outside of turn 1. That's brave. That's determined.
That really was. She's trying to do it. Yeah, Riethmuller didn't look very happy with that when he's flashing his lights. The other point I was going to say is there's an attitude to everything. My attitude to racing for this kind of thing would be, certainly if I was in Riethmuller or Jake Towns' place, it would be like, okay, you're in a higher class, I'll let you through. Or I'm not going to make it too hard. If that car then spins and ends up back behind me, or I have to then take avoiding action, I'm not going to be quite so willing to let you through next time.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, it's just these little things. It may prove difficult for Sarah, and the same for Yuka. You know, Yuka was already having a bit of a tough time trying to pass them anyway. We have actual side-by-side. Tom Cruise and Marvin Sluman. So actually racing, they're not all fuel saving behind each other.
Oh, and there goes Suominen diving on the inside actually of Riesmuller. So Yuka goes up into 15th. So it doesn't make any difference to his championship standings. Dressler, Godefroy and Gibbons still fighting, along with Gadimir and Sosowski and Klima still fighting.
Yeah, and just a point as well, that battle for Jake Towns and Saradov and Yuka Suominen and Reithmuller, that really is now an inter-class battle.
Yes.
You know, Suominen and Dove are in the same class, Reithmuller and Towns are in the same class. And you've got Cruz and Sluman not far behind, and they're in the Pro-Am, so they're going to want to be on the back of Suominen and Dove.
Well, Suominen looks set to strike now, with having now cleared Riesmuller out of the way. Jake Towns has been pretty feisty all race long. Chris Bells has had pretty much nothing to do as far as the AM category is concerned. Now 3.2 behind Hoppe, but again, still a pretty decent effort there. Who is going to make the move? This is what this is part of our job as commentators. Is who is going to make a move? And it's impossible for us to know. We can see the timing gaps between each car, but you know, like now, you get the feeling that Sarah Dove, who's been trying her best to charge through the field again, could well put another move on Jake Towns, which sadly undid itself last time she did it. But then equally, you've got Martinson on the back of Lundgren, you've got Godefroy on the back of Gibbons, very close to the back of Gibbons indeed. Is Alexander Godefroy going to make a move? That is for Pro-Am lead, so he might. There's still 35 minutes to go though, so he may again just still choose to sit there. Dressler's right behind them, but he's in the Pro category, so he may just kind of sit there. But again, if he feels he's being held up, he may choose to get on with it. Oh, that's so close between Godefroy and Gibbons.
There is a battle. There was a battle. The position that has just changed is Suominen and Dove. Those two, I think, are going to be actually properly racing. They are for class position. Dove needs to salvage as many points as she can if she wants to keep hold of the Pro-Am Championship lead. She only leads it by 14 points. And both Godefroy, Martinson and Hoppe are ahead of her.
Yeah.
So they're all gaining, so she wants to minimise that as much as she can. And if Swominen's ahead, she loses out point.
Oh, that's Grutz and Sluman.
Yeah, those two have been rapping for a while.
Yeah, the Ford is just going to slot behind the Ferrari this time. Again, that's for what's going to be about 6th and 7th in the Pro-Ams. There's Gaillard, who's has had a harder job recovering through the field than Sarah Dove after their initial impact early on. That'll be a race I'm sure he won't want to remember.
I've just decided I want to check something with Gaillard. I'm wondering whether with him, Hoppe and the like all being on VEC, whether they're all running that similar top end limit.
This could get nasty. Suominen and Jake Towns. I think Jake Towns. Oh, Jake Towns let Suominen go, it looked like. But when he came back onto the racing line, that caught Sarah Dove completely out. That wasn't really Sarah Dove's fault. Sarah was running with the racing line, but as Jake Towns was kind of returning to the racing line, of course, his entry into the bus stop was that much more compromised. That's just given 7/10 to Suominen.
Yep, that's exactly what you were saying earlier though, about momentum.
That's
Jake Towns doing that line, which he fully entitled and needed to do, completely killed any momentum Sarah Dove could try and carry through the through the bus stop. Just an update, by the way, Gaillard running the same car as Hoppe, similar team, but is not having those same straight line speed issues. So that's either a oversight on something on Hoppe's car, or it's a preference from Hoppe.
It can't be a preference, surely, topping out that quickly.
I mean, the shorter gears, the quicker you reach top speed, so better acceleration. I can't imagine it's something he's happy with, though.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be. I'd be raging.
Sluman is all over the back of Kreutz at the moment. Look at that. He's absolutely doing everything he can. And we're approaching sort of the final half hour now. So might we now start to see... Oh, go on.
Sluman was oversteering like crazy coming out of turn 6. It took him 3 or 4 attempts to get the car pointing in a straight line.
Wow.
That is not a car that he is one with right there. Although admittedly turn 6 is incredibly difficult to get the power down. These cars do have traction control, but even so, there is a period until that cuts in, depending on how high you have that setting turned on. And getting power up there and getting a smooth run onto the banking, which is so critical, can prove difficult.
Yeah, definitely. Saradov is still chasing that yellow Nando's Ferrari. She must be pretty sick of seeing it now. Oh, is this an opportunity? Slipstream, a little bit of extra momentum, but no, she's not really gaining on it.
And she's going to be struggling with that.
Oh, here she goes again. We saw her doing that move earlier, but no, didn't quite pay off for her this time. There is Suominen. That's now 1.5 seconds between the two Ferraris. So this is... Oh, and you saw the lock up there from Sarah Dove. She went a bit hot into turn 3. This is costing the AOR Hime Ford quite a few seconds and potential points from the Pro-Am battle. So she will be very keen to get past Jake Towns again. But in fairness, Jake Towns is perfectly entitled to defend the line. How much is going to benefit him? Well... Again, as I mentioned earlier, it does put a buffer between himself and Sebastian Riethmuller, the Porsche behind Sarah. So there is potential for it, but at the end of the day, he's not really doing anything wrong. So he's perfectly entitled to defend that line. Sarah may feel a bit grieved by it, but that's the rules of the game. Absolutely,
and the other issue she's got that front bodyweight damage, which I imagine is going to be hampering her straight line speed a little. It looks like... Yeah, the moment she pulls out for the slipstream, she can't maintain that momentum. So she's going to require some cooperation from Jake. Oh, she gets very close to him on the exit of the bus stop. She's going to require some cooperation from him to get that move done. Jeremy Hopper in the pits, by the way.
Yep.
I was going to tell you a thing. What was I going to tell you?
I'll tell you a different thing. Knut Martinsson has managed to get past Joachim Lundgren. How long he stays there for, of course, is another matter. But Jeremy Hoppe, that was a pretty short stop. So stationary for excuse me, for 15 seconds.
And Saradov has been disqualified.
Oh no! Has she hit the exit limit?
That was what I was going to tell you, was that she was on 16, and I just saw have a tap with Jake Towns into turn 1, and she's been disqualified.
I can't see that because she's already gone.
That is devastating for the Pro-Am Championship leader.
Oh no!
It's 35 points for a win, and Godefroy, nearest challenger, is currently second, and I think it's 28 points for second. If he finishes where he is, he's going to have a huge lead over. He's going to be 14 points ahead.
We've seen it before. We've seen it so many times when the instant limit just bites.
You've got to drive within your limits and drive within what you've got available.
Yeah, and
it's unfortunate, but it can happen.
And speaking of, Godefroy, who we're looking at, has got a mighty 1.
Yep.
Considering how close he's been to he's been in this pack for miles, and that's very impressive that he's managed to keep. Not even our race leader has been that clean. He's got 4, and he hasn't hit anyone as far as we know.
No, I'm willing to give back. All that one off track from Godefroy was at the bus stop. Because that's the only realistically easy place to get one.
Yeah, or certainly easiest.
Yeah, the next person who needs to be careful off track wise is Soren Cruz. He's on 16. So he got to be a little careful. Jake Towns, Gaillard, Reithmuller all in now. So if Jake was hoping to get away, Reithmuller's followed him immediately in.
Do you think he timed that? He specifically followed Jake in?
Oh, what's going on for that?
Or do you think that they just happened to pit at the same time?
Can't possibly tell you. It looks like they just pit at the same time. Although, this is the difference of practicing your pit stop. Philippe Gaillard was behind Reithmuller when they pitted, or on the entrance to the pit lane, but because Gaillard had got a much better braking for it, he actually overtook Reithmuller into the pit lane entry.
Nice.
And unfortunately, Gaillard has had a slightly longer pit, so hasn't gained. But Reithmuller's right on the back of Jake Towns.
Race leaders in, Irunom, Gadamer, and I think Klima as well. Yep, so quite a few of our top drivers are in. Sasulski didn't, Gadamer didn't.
I'll tell you what this is then. I think this is people running their tanks dry, and the ones that were staying out are the ones that have saved fuel.
And Claudio Klima, I clocked, was in minus figures. I overshot his pit box.
Oh dear. He's not going to be very happy with that. That's a big. That could be a big issue for him, to be honest.
And probably won't like the fact that I highlighted that because we didn't see it. I just saw his speed go into negative figures.
So he can just.
He could deny it, of course. But Claudio Klima now underway, and that puts Irunom in ninth place.
Just ahead, so our previous overall race leader, pro leader, is just now ahead of our arm leader.
Lundgren is indeed ahead of.
Lundgren's behind.
No, sorry, big button. Yeah, Irunom is ahead of Chris Bell.
Oh.
Go on.
Okay, he's ahead. I was about to say it looks like we've got another contender in the AM battle, but Marco Zelenik has not pitted yet. Oh, I'll tell you what needs to be careful. Reithmuller and Towns both on 17 incidents. They've both got to be very careful now. There can be no touching between them or they're both out.
There are no zeros left.
No.
That tells you how difficult our drivers are finding this.
Okay, we've got Dan Sasulski in. Gadamer stays out another lap, so this is absolutely due to fuel. He's managed to eke that out by staying out a little bit longer. Who else we got? We got Gibbs coming in. Dreschler and Godefroy stay out again. Yep, Gibbs led that train for so long. And Godefroy and Dreschler have sat behind him, and I imagine they've saved enough that this will be a hammer down lap to try and jump him through the pit stops.
Indeed, and Gadamer staying right with Michael Dreschler as he has been for so long. Sasulski is coming out. Where will he reappear? To see, that is going to be 8th by the look of that for the Bushwick Racing Pink Ford. And Klima is just coming into turn 1 now, so that is indeed 8th position for Sasulski. Irunom now up to 6th position. Godefroy is still with his dance partner of Michael Dreschler. And that is, didn't see who that was. I think that's Stefan Kamke. Nope, that's the wrong Porsche. Krutz, no, don't know who that is that they are catching up to. Although Dominic Gadamer is, he's got to be coming in this time. Are we thinking he's coming in this time?
It'll either be this lap or next, I would imagine.
There can't be much juice left in the tank.
No, Godefroy might get an extra one because he's had yet another lap behind Dreschler. But you don't want to leave it too late. You don't want to get it wrong.
Yeah. He's not coming in.
No, Gadamer's staying out. He's been in that behind them for a long time. So he's been able to put some pretty good laps in, and he's responded with a 42.1 last lap. Where's Klima?
Klima is in 9th. He's 42 seconds behind the lead.
Eno Marinsky's in. Godefroy and Dreschler both staying out then. Martinson staying in. We're coming in, sorry.
Staying in. Nope, not going out again. Nope, I've had enough.
We've got our AM leader Chris Bell in as well.
Indeed, we do. Of course, shakes up the field somewhat.
So Aaron goes back into the lead of all cars that pitted, which he was already in.
I was going to say, yeah, he was there before. Eno Marinsky comes out. He's going to come out right behind. Is that? No, that wasn't Ronnie Gibbons, we just saw going through. So that puts Eno Marinsky right behind. That's Claudio Klima.
Yeah, that's right there. Oh, Klima had a very slow stop. An extra 7 seconds almost.
Oh, but that's because I mentioned he did so you did overshoot your pit box then.
I would suspect he did. I would suspect so.
Well, that's how much it's actually cost him. Where's Gatormare? He's just coming through. Is he coming in this time? I've lost track of where he is in relation to the pit.
He's on the final corner. He's on the final corner. He's coming around to the pit stop now.
He looks very low.
If he comes in.
Yeah, I was just thinking he's very low on the banking there, so he's coming in. Wow, he's coming in hot.
But the thing is if you can make this last, then you get an extra lap on low fuel. And if you've managed to been saving fuel, you've probably been able to save some tyres as well. And if you can get a couple of really good laps in, oh look at this, Dressler in, Godefroy staying out.
Staying out, yeah.
Another lap. This is what he did last season, I think. This is amazing stuff from Alexander Godefroy, who now leads the race, by the way.
Yeah, Alexander Godefroy, and he, one of the Pro-Ams, is leading the way now. Under 21 and a half minutes to go. Gatormare, he's now underway. Irinom's gone through to second. Where's Gatormare going to filter out? Sasulski's coming into turn 1. Gatormare is going to be up in third, effective second place.
Yeah,
and he's
there's a bit of a gap as well now.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. There's Sasulski, who
look at this, he's gained nearly 2 seconds on Aeronom.
But look where Klima is. Klima's miles behind. Bear in mind, Klima was second.
Yeah.
Broadly before the pit stops happened. He's lost miles of time. It's about 10 seconds he's lost on Gatormare.
Absolutely. It's why you want to practice your pit stop. Wow, I'm blown away by Alexander Godefroy. He's a very brilliant, he's a really good driver. He won Pro-Am last season. He's going to be leading it at the end of it tonight by the looks of it. Yeah, super stuff. As for those that are pitted, it's looking, we're going to see if Gatormare's got any response to Aeronom now. This is going to be a battle purely on pace, it looks like, because there's no traffic between them.
Yeah, battle and Aeronom is always a bit of an interesting statement.
Just to point out lower down, Dressler managed to jump Gibbs through the pits.
But here he comes.
So I'm willing to get that our race leader, who is now coming in, Alexander Godefroy, is going to, and it was a good pit in as well. I was very committed, but he's managed to get it slowed down in time. I suspect he's going to get both.
Ronnie Gibbons has just nailed Dressler. Dressler didn't really fight that one before they came into the pit stop. So that's Ronnie Gibbons.
The thing is, they don't want to fight too hard because they know the Godefroy is still not pitted, and he's in now though.
Yeah, where are they going to filter out? There's the golden question. Godefroy's still stationary. Marinsky,
away. Look how slow these cars pull away. They don't like standing starts too much. Oh, Godefroy's going to be right in it. It hasn't quite worked for him.
Oh, he's going to be in the middle. Oh, he's a little bit hesitant on the exit of the pit lane. Don't hit the yellow things. And there goes Gibbons. Ronnie Gibbons goes back up into 6th. Then Godefroy behind. Dressler right behind the pair of them. Brilliantly
held on to by Gibbons then. He paid the penalty by having to pit early, so he's done a couple of extra laps. I think 3 in total. With the heavier car, heavier fuel, and has still managed to retain that Pro-Am lead. Brilliant stuff.
Very nicely played, and Godefroy then with Dressler all over his tail. Will he let the Pro 189 Privateer Ferrari go, or will he choose to keep him there? Only time will tell on that one. Enel Marinsky is around about a second behind Klima, but the rest of the field are pretty spread out at the top. Once again, Irinon returning to the lead. That is, who is that? 392, I think that number was.
It's 382 is Stefan Kamke.
Oh yeah, the 382. Yeah, that's is indeed Stefan Kamke.
Oh! Gatormare is closing in on Aeronom by 1,000th of a second last lap.
Oh, that recovery's on.
Yep, that is confirmed. And just to point out from my earlier prediction, it is night now in Daytona.
It is. We can probably see. Yeah, we go. We jump on the nose of Dressler, who's trying to get past Godefroy. That sky is exceedingly. There were clouds to be seen up there last time we saw them. Oh, that is Riethmuller and Krutz on 18 of the available instant points. Very, very, very close.
Yeah, they've got to be very careful now. So just to give an overall update then, your pro leader and race leader is Aaron, who has led every single part of this race, even when he was lead car of those that pitted. Pro-Am lead is Ronnie Gibbons, who has led that pretty much the entire way, and Chris Bell still leads AM-Class, down in 12th position overall.
That's been a great drive then for Chris Bell. He hasn't had any class pressure at all beyond about lap 2. He's done a stellar job out there. Jake Towns, we've seen him involved in some pretty amazing battles. He's now clear. Oh, go on.
Never mind. Don't worry about it.
What did you see?
It was a lag.
Oh, it catches us out.
I will say it's got better.
It has got better. Yeah, it is a lot better. We're not seeing half the field blinking in and out constantly every few seconds, but it will still catch us out. See, your commentator instinct says, "Oh, gap, small, go!" But then, yeah, there's nothing actually.
It was more what I saw Dan Sasulski dropping down the order. It was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Look how much that top set of battle though has spread out there.
Yeah, exactly.
3.4 to Gaidamer to Aaron 4.1 from Sasulski to Gaidamer.
6 Klima to Sasulski. Yeah, that's all just completely. Yeah, that 2, 3, and 4 Gaidamer, Sasulski, Klima were tenths apart. For so long.
Yeah. I can't get over how good a. I find this amusing. So Gibbs through the pit stop was 36.0 seconds. He had a 16.8 second stop because he had to put more fuel in because he was first in. Godefroy had a 14.7 second stop, 36.0 seconds through the pit.
Yep.
So he took less fuel but took the exact same amount of time through the pit stop.
It comes back again to practice your pit stops, rather.
The other thing to consider as well is these cars do not like standing still. They do not like pulling away from a standstill, which is why sometimes when we pull away from the grid, they stutter and judder off the line. And if you can get that actually moving quickly, you can gain a huge amount.
Yeah, basically Ferrari saying we do the whole driving fast bit pretty well. We're not interested in the driving slowing bit.
Yes.
Wow. Less than. Go on.
Gaidamer gained by nearly half a second on Aeronom last lap. The gap is down to less than 3 seconds.
It is. Oh wow. He was teasing him. He's teasing him. He's going to sort of lure him in, and then.
I think he's more teasing us.
Yeah. I'll give you something to watch. Wouldn't that be amazing if he did actually sort of lure Gaidamer in and Gaidamer nails him? Final banking of the final lap.
Hey, you weren't supposed to do that! I was doing it for the commentators.
Oh, Godefroy and Dressler came past Godefroy a while ago, but he's stayed right with him. Dressler is right with Gibbons. Yeah, Ronnie Gibbons now. Well, has been for quite a few laps with that. That gap was around about a second or just over between Gibbons and previously Godefroy. Ooh, unusual line from Godefroy, but keeps it in. But now Gibbons has got a lot to do and not a lot of time left, so he can't rely on they won't attack because of the time. Now is the time of there's somebody ahead of me.
Gibbons is off! He's off! He's just spun off the road! Oh, heartbreaking for him. He dropped it at turn 6.
That was literally just he went off my camera just as that happened, so.
It's going for him. He's just had a slight wobble and it is firing him off the road. Oh, he's going to be so angry at that. He's now 3 seconds behind Godefroy and Dreschler. That is given Pro-Am lead to Alexander Godefroy.
Yeah, it has indeed.
Gibbs. He's going to rue that. That's the only mistake we've seen him make anyway.
In fairness, it is. We haven't seen Gibbs
driven brilliantly.
We haven't seen Gibbs too many times in this season, but he has driven a pretty damn good race. in the Pro-Am 288 Alpine Stars geodesic Ferrari. Can he close that back in? Again, if Godefroy just stays with Dressler. Ooh, that's a battered Ferrari. Who was that? That was Ben Hitchcock. Yep, he's hit something fairly solid. At some point, bless. The only time we've seen Ben Hitchcock is when someone's come past him, unfortunately. But, that's the nature of the beast.
Yeah. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. And Ben Hitchcock, he's not in a tier. He's not in a class. But if he was, he would certainly be getting class points.
Chris Bell is looking like he's putting pressure on Knut Martinsson.
He really is. That was such a tremendously good drive. Joachim Lundgren managed to gain a considerable amount now over Knut Martinsson. So it looks like, Knut's had an issue somewhere because he's got damaged rear wing.
Oh dear, yeah. Because
I'm going to go back and see what he.
Yeah, not often he's got damage everywhere by the look of that. He's got front right damage and damage on the rear. Oh dear. It's unravelled for Knut in the dying laps of the race. Speaking of, we've got about 7.5 of them left. There's now the lap count now down to 47. 11 minutes remain. The closest battle we have position-wise, or track position-wise, is this one, Dressler to Godefroy. Although, as we mentioned before, Godefroy, what did he do?
Well, I can't tell you what he did because it's in I can't see it. But it happened somewhere between after turn 6 and turn 1. So I'm willing to make a gamble.
He's gone
Made
wrong.
A mess of the bus stop.
Bus stop, yeah. Yeah, that's gone horribly
That's
wrong.
the only real tricky bit. Yeah, Chris Bell now overtaking Knut Martinsson. That is doing significant amount of damage to Knut's straight line speed.
Oh yeah, that's not a happy Ferrari at all. There is
Playing havoc with his balance and havoc with his aero as well.
With so little left of the race, and Knut's in a pretty solid, class 4th. What's the gap between himself and Suomen? 17.5 seconds. Well,
I don't think he'll get him.
Well, I mean, it depends how well that Knut holds onto the car. Really, it would. Really,
It's very true.
It does involve Knut making another mistake at the hill, but when the car is damaged, the mistake becomes easier to make.
Absolutely. I was just going to say, actually, I think it's fair to say, if you want to win in this series, whether it be Pro-Am or Am victory, you have to be perfect. You have to put together a absolutely perfect race. We don't see many fluky wins in these races. Anyone who wins a race here, Gibbs.
Krutz is in the pits.
Oh, that might be.
He's been there a while, so I wonder if he was involved in the Knut incident. We won't know. So unfortunately, we can't see. But
I'll go back and see if I can see it. I don't know. We haven't seen a mistake from. We haven't seen anything from Chris Bell. Mistake-wise, we've certainly not seen anything from Aero Nom.
No.
It's not too often you see anything from Soren, by the way. It's not too often we get a fluky result. Any result here is well earned.
8.5 minutes remain here at Daytona. Aero Nom once again putting on the masterclass for the pro category.
And I don't want to get the viewers too excited. But Gainemer gained another 200ths of seconds.
That gap remaining at around about 3.3 between Nom and Gainemer. Gainemer doing a pretty good job returning to second position after the sort of long battle he had with Dan Sasolski, who finds himself in third, and Claudio Klima in the fourth position. Then Einar Marinsky, not been a brilliant race, flashing his lights interestingly. That's why there was someone on the infield. I wasn't entirely certain who. I didn't see the number on the Porsche, but that's Einar letting them know, I'm coming through, you best get out of the way. Dressler still is being pounded by Alexander Godefroy, the Pro-Am leader, having fended off Ronnie Gibbons, who unfortunately has fallen away from the back of that duo. There's now nearly 4 seconds between Gibbons and Godefroy. Whoa, Godefroy was very close to Dressler there. I wouldn't be at all surprised if Godefroy just stays behind Dressler. It won't serve him to overtake him. And
I was just about to ask that, whether Godefroy goes for it on the last couple of laps. He's got a lot more to lose than he has to gain. But in Teams Championship, it's based off your overall position, not your class position. So there is a small benefit for going for it.
We will see. It's the closest battle we've got throughout the field, looking at the numbers. So it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. And if nothing else, it's a testament to Godefroy that he can, stick it to a driver such as Michael Dressler.
Yeah, and a testament to how important for this racetrack specifically, how important you get a good qualifying in and don't make any mistakes early on, because if you do, you can lose a lot of time to the people you're fighting. We look at Dressler, he's usually, with that top pack, he's at least 10 seconds off the back, well, just under 10 seconds off the back of Eno Marinsky. And he's not looking to be able to catch back up. But he's just taken Godefroy with him, because Godefroy and Gibbons were all in that battle together. So his pace has been somewhat dictated by the pack he's in, rather than his own actual raw pace.
And Dressler getting slipstream off the back of the Porsche. Go on.
Gaydemir has fallen off the road.
Gaydemir did?
Yeah, he ran wide at turn 1. He's now 5 seconds off the back of Aaron. He did well to save that, actually, because that could have been into the wall, into the pit wall.
Oh, yeah, don't do that.
Gap now up to 5 seconds, and it's going to take a mistake from Aero now, I think, with 4 laps to go.
It's not looking likely.
No, but Aero has won the last 4 races. He's put on a tremendous performance. It's becoming all too familiar for him, and he's cruising towards that elusive championship. We've seen it before the end, and I suspect unless someone can get on Aero's level, he's going to be another one to get it early.
Why is my PC now acting up? I don't know. Hopefully it stops.
It would be preferable if it not.
Yes, it seems to have now settled down. We had a bit of a robotic Stevie for a while.
Oh dear. Oh, is that no? Well, that battle was for very close positions, and it isn't.
No, I'm pretty much sticking with Godefroy and Dressler, even though this is only really for team honours at the moment. It's fascinating to see just Godefroy close in, and then just he's picking his time. He's not just flying past because he can, and then just to be counterpunched by Dressler. He's lurking with intent. He knows when is going to be the prime opportunity to do it, and he's going to want to do that overtake as late as he possibly can.
A good run to the line is the best opportunity. Yeah. You get enough of a drive, but you have to get the bus stop perfect
and hope that the person you're following doesn't.
Yes, they're both running the same car, so I suspect they're running similar top end. So it's all down to the driver. Plus top 6 sounds like top 7. So yeah, I wonder whether.
Problem?
Nope. It's okay. My graphics were playing up, and I thought we'd lost someone, but we haven't.
No, good.
The only other people that need to be careful at the minute of that terrifying disqualification, Sebastian Riesmuller in 17th, he's on 18. Jake Towns on 17 still. Gaydemir's up to 14, but he should be okay with only a few laps remaining. JJ Parkinson on 18. Sarah Dove remains the only person to have been disqualified.
I'm sure that's a distinction she doesn't particularly want.
Nope, but unfortunately the plaudits she gets to take away from today.
There's a takeaway of nothing else.
Yep.
Don't say weird AOR don't give you anything. Oh dear. Which I shouldn't laugh, because there's no way I could do this to the level that these guys do it. Here comes Godefroy again. Yep, he stayed right behind Dressler. One of the dressers getting really fed up with the fact that the VEC Sim Racing Rouge Ferrari's just loitering.
He's probably thinking, I know what you're going to do. You're waiting until the last lap. Because that's what I'd be thinking. You would sort of get lulled into a false sense of security that he's not going to go for it. But last couple of laps, doesn't matter how many, they've done 46, 45 laps so far. Even on all of them, he backed out of it. On the last lap, you make sure you cover that inside.
Yeah. Well, we've seen it before. I remember, a previous event here at Daytona where we had, I think we had 2 or 3, side-by-side battles. We had Holstein and Gadamer, I think, was one of them, and Canute was another. We just had amazing sprints to the line, hundredths of a second separating each pair, or each car's within each pair, I remember. Can't remember when, but I remember what.
Yeah, it's the last couple of laps you pay attention.
Yeah, and I still think Alexander Godefroy's helmet is brighter than everything else to do with that car.
Well, all the cars do have an interior purple light. Probably that is reflecting off. But he does seem to have a highly reflective helmet compared to others.
Final lap then here at Daytona Road. It is all for Irunom at the moment. 5.3 is the lead he has over Dominic Gadamer. And Dan Sasulski has the 3rd spot at the moment. Claudio Klima in the geodesic Ferrari still chasing on in 4th. Jan Marinsky 5 and the 184 Porsche. And the battle we've been looking at for a while, which is the Dressler Godefroy battle, 6th position. Gibbs has closed in a bit, but unless the 2 ahead of him come together, he's not really going to be involved in the showdown towards the line. Then Hoppe and Lundgren round out our top 10. Oh, Godefroy again, very, very close to the tail of the 189 Ferrari. Irunom can pretty much just ignore top gear at this stage. You just coast from there almost.
I refrained from making a BBC joke there.
That wasn't where I was going.
No, I didn't think so. So I refrained.
Well, without too much surprise, it was 5 in a row for this season, and it's not looking like it's going to change in the last few turns. But your winner here at Daytona once again is the car 178 of Irunom. Dominic Gadamer is going to take 2nd. Here is Dan Sasulski to round out the podium.
I'm watching with intent. Godefroy, he didn't overtake him to the bus stop. He's gaining. He's going to go for this. He's closing on Michael Dressler. Now he's going for it. He's going for 6th place, and there's nothing at all Dressler can do about it.
Oh, he's going to have him as well. Yeah, and he did as well. Alexander Godefroy stealing that 6th position by 51 thousandths of a second. And the Dressler's staring at him going, swine. And
there's nothing he could do about that. Absolutely nothing.
No. Lundgren rounds out our top 10. So Irunom, our pro winner, Alexander Godefroy, our pro-am winner, and Chris Bell, a great drive in the Porsche. He's happy with that. Is our am winner as well. Canute has crossed the line in 12th. There is Jukka Suominen. Marvin Sleeman is going to take 14. And the Nando's Ferrari of Jake Towns is going to fend off Felipe Gaillard and round out the top 15. Well. There's not many cars that are still on the lead lap. There is Gaillard, Reith Muller in the next VEC coloured Porsche. And finally it's going to be Flavio Foco, all other drivers a lap down. And there it is. Right, to summarise the results then, there it is. Irunam takes the top spot, then Gaidemeyer, Sosowski, Klima, Marinsky, Godefroy, Dressler, Gibbons, Hoppe, Lundgren, Bell, Martinson, Suominen, Sluman, Towns, Guyard, Riethmuller, Foku, Brenneman, Cooper, Zelenika, Kamke, Van Eyck, Washington, Hitchcock, and then Parkinson did see the flag. I think from Crooks downwards didn't, so that's Crooks, Dove. I've forgotten who the blank one is again.
Gordon Anderson.
Gordon Anderson, thank you. Domino, Thielen, Sheppers, Imre, and Smith.
Yep, and just to confirm your class podiums, so it was for Pro, obviously, Aeronom, Gaidemeyer, and Dan Sosowski in third. Pro-Am was Alexander Godefroy, Ronnie Gibbons, and Jeremy Hoppe managed to get third. And for Am, it was Chris Bell, Jake Towns, and Sebastian Reed.
What a stunner! That was indeed lots of slipstreaming, exactly as we thought it would be. But what a race that was!
Should we get some drivers in? We've got some wanting to talk to us.
Oh, do we? Who wants to have a chat with us?
I think it's obligatory we get our race winner in
again. Yes, let's have let's have a chat with him. There he is. Once again, Irunam, 5 in a row now. You must be quite happy with that.
Yeah, pretty happy. I wasn't sure about the quali because it's open quali, so I didn't get any draft, but my first lap was fast enough, so that was pretty amazing.
Again, when coming into the race, were you quite confident you were going to be able to see off the competition, or were you quite concerned with the sort of slipstreaming effect that may keep you company?
Yeah, definitely slipstream was strong there, but I didn't have any practice. Few laps today, so I'm looking my second lap was half second faster than anybody else, so I only did one fast lap this race.
Goodness me. What will it take to defeat the mighty Irunam, I wonder? And probably our drivers wonder that as well.
Practice.
A fair and just answer. Thank you, Iru, once again. Great effort, and we look forward to the next one.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Who's next, Mr. C?
Let's get Jake Townsend.
Jake Towns, the Yellow Nando's Ferrari pilot. We saw you involved in quite a few incidents. How are you feeling after that one?
I'm actually feeling quite good. For the first race back after my obviously little mini holiday, I thought I did alright, to be honest. But overall happy. Second, obviously, in the AM class. I had nothing for Chris, unfortunately. He was rapid tonight, but got a bit lucky with Domino getting taken out and stuff. So, and had some great battles with Sebastian, with Sarah, and obviously Duca as well. So it was good fun race. That I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we saw quite a bit of the battles that you had, that you were involved with. Where was your confidence level? Where were you thinking you were going to be in the pecking order for tonight?
I'd probably say I was probably thinking more about probably about 20th. I'd say more. Well, where I was aiming for anyway. If I could just get into those, lower scoring points like 17, 18th, to try and get some points on the overall board, because I've been missing out literally by like one place on a couple of races. But very happy with 15th overall. And like I said, I obviously I'm not aiming for the overall championship. My obviously title hopes are obviously with the AM class championship. So very happy with that. Obviously gained a lot of points. Obviously being away for 2 weeks, dropped a lot. But today was kind of happy with that.
I was going to ask you about actually. You went away with a significant lead in the AM championship, and you come back and you were, I think, 5th.
Yeah. I think it was going to be tight because everyone's going, you're going to be well ahead by the time you come back, and I was like, no, you'll all be closed up again. Don't worry about that. So it was good though. I enjoyed it. A very good race. Very good.
Excellent. Well played. It was thoroughly entertaining to watch, and we look forward to the next one.
Thank you very much, guys.
Next.
Next in, this is JJ Parker.
Hello, Justin.
Hello.
How are you feeling after that one? We didn't see a great deal of you, but you kept it straight and true. Kept it. You saw the flag.
Eventually, I got there. Yeah, long time coming.
So, what was the strategy for you then?
Finish by all means possible.
Not die.
Pretty much.
Fair enough. I mean, again, were you thinking of was there someone you were trying to sort of eye up keeping with, or was it just simply leave the walls alone and no grass cutting going on?
Pretty much the latter of the two. I weren't going in with any expectations. My quality lap was a lot slower than I was anticipating. I'd done a lot better in practice than what I'd done in qualifying, but the pressure just built to me, so I ended up a bit further down the order than I would have liked. But then when I got into the race, just thought, I need to finish a race before the end of the season, so kept it out of the walls and off the grass. Didn't do it by much. I did have a couple of incidents, but I managed to carry on after. So.
Achievement get.
Yep.
Well played, Justin. Well done, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Yep. Cheers.
We have one Mr. Gatormare, I believe.
There
he is, and we interrupted the conversation as well, so achievement for us. Hello, Dominic. How are you feeling after that one?
Hello, guys. Yeah, it was pretty fun, I have to say. Obviously, would have hoped for a little bit better outcome, but the second place is nice, and yeah, can't complain at all, really.
Were you sort of thinking? We saw that you went a few laps longer on the pit stop than certainly those ahead of you at the time. Were you thinking that the win was possible, or was it just a case of let's try the strategy and see what happens?
Well, at this point, I didn't think the win was possible, but I think it definitely was today. At the beginning, I just missed with a mistake. I think lap 2 or 3, and that's where Aero got the gap. And yeah, once you're out of slipstream, he's really hard to catch, I can say. But yeah, no, it was just I always aim to go a little bit longer because I think doesn't harm you to do that.
Well, it certainly didn't harm you because you were in that three-way battle for second position for a long time, and then suddenly post pit stop you were miles ahead.
Yeah, I was really surprised, I gotta say, how big the gaps were, especially Claudio, who was like 10 seconds back. I don't know what happened to them, really. Maybe just a bad outlap, or can you tell me what was going on?
We suspect, but we can't confirm, that may have missed the pit stop.
Oh no.
And had to do a little bit of reversing.
Yeah. Happened to everyone, I guess.
It does. Even the greats make mistakes.
Yeah.
Well, great effort there, Dominic. We look forward to the next one.
Cheers, guys. See you next time.
And that is going to wrap it up for this evening. Thank you very much to those that have been with us throughout the stream. A great pleasure to have you with us. Thank you, Stevie, for keeping me on the straight and narrow. It was always a great pleasure to have you with me, good sir.
Thank you very much. It's always a good fun to sit and talk over these races with you. It's a good way to spend my evening. Coming up on the iRacing broadcast for the leagues coming forward, on Friday, we have the penultimate round of the Formula Renault 3.5 League at Virginia International Raceway. Can't wait for that. On Monday, next week, for the next round of this championship, round 8, we have Spa-Francorchamps.
Yes.
At night. So prepare for all of the disqualifications, because that track is very harsh on track limits, and at night it's ludicrously difficult. And then on the following Friday, we have the finale of the Formula 3 League at Detroit Belle Isle. And I have one more thing to plug. I'm going to drop a link in the chat. We, on AOR, we like to expand our leagues. We're always trying to create new things if the demand is there. And we have put an interest thread out for an endurance type league. It will be taking place probably on a Saturday. 3-hour race every third week. We're not sure what type of multi-class it's going to be. It's probably going to be GTE and something. But if it's something that is interested in, that you would take an interest in, by all means go and have a look, register your interest, have a vote in our poll, and let us know.
Yep, and you may well have crazy people like me and Stevie shouting about your on-track antics.
Potentially.
That sort of thing needs to be sorted out once we get an interest on numbers or an idea on numbers and what have you. We will do our best to ensure that there is a stream of some description. But until then, thank you very much to those that have been with us, and we will see you next time for more AOR action. Thank you very much, and good night.